여러분. Hello everyone. I'm so sorry that it takes a little bit longer time. Thank you so much, Eva. Yeah, and Dune. Yeah. Hello everyone. My name is Hyunmi. Thank you for giving time today to do this presentation. I teach Korean 3 and 4 at the University of Western Australia. Today, I want to share the very hot topic that is happening in the IT world, the metaverse. So how us teachers, I forgot, I too much focus on seeing the participants, so I missed some parts. So this is my title. And yeah, so how as teachers can we use metaverse to improve experience of teaching teaching Korean online? So let's explore this. So yeah. So I'm going to talk about on Office. There's a lot of O sound. Talk about an online office platform that started in May of 2020 in response to COVID-19. So I'm going to show you very brief short video clip that they made. It's the sound. Really?
Share sound.
Share sound. Maybe I should. Oops. There isn't. Yeah. But anyway, you can. Yeah, it's not really important. I can explain. This metaverse platform is designed to give people a realistic office or classroom experience online. You can create virtual office space or classroom that people can interact in. Yeah, so you can have a look quickly. So you can have a meeting together. And then it's his virtual office. People can have their private meeting room in that space, and then can share screens. Yeah, that's all. So as you can see, the graphic design of this ghetto town is very similar to many of video and computer games that were released in 1990s. And maybe if you know the Korean social networking service, Skyward, yeah, that in that case you can have your own avatar and mini room to decorate. And also this core 2D design, it was combined the video and the meeting functions of Zoom to give a practical virtual online experience. So why? What was the reason that motivated me to use this Gather Town? Was because if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't have tried these online applications. Yeah. So the COVID. The COVID situation also forced me to learn many other computer skills, such as video editing skills. And my perspective on teaching a class has definitely changed. And I'm more open to interesting applications such as gather time. So this is the time where everyone is focused on the online world. So the second reason why I wanted to use application like GettoTown was to help students have more enjoyable online classroom experience. As you know, many people are experiencing the COVID blue or depressions because they have been isolated for so long. So I wanted students to have more interactive and realistic learning experience where they could meet other students like they were in real classroom. So last year, I read an article, Naver also had their own metaverse. They gained 200 million users with the most of their users being between the age of 10 to 19. So as a survival strategy, I thought it would be the best to adopt to changing time or upcoming generation. As the most of my students are fresh out of high school. So yeah. So new jobs are being created in the metaverse. So these days, many companies no longer have their offline offices. And now in the Silicon Valley, the working from home is very hot at the moment. So they exclusively have virtual company offices. So if students enter the workforce, they will have this experience under their belts. So the reason why I decided to use an application like GettoTown at UWA was because around 30% of students that took Korean 3 and 4 last year were international students. Of that 30%, 10% of students were stuck in their home country and they could not come to course. So, however, many of these students have Korean as their first or second major, and many more as a minor. So Korean was introduced as a minor only last year, but has the highest enrollment, has the highest rate of enrollment as a minor out of all subjects at UWA. So because of this, it was necessary to create a hybrid learning system. In semester 1 of this year, 69 students started Korean 3. And 8 of these students enrolled in the other online GettoTown lesson. However, because many students caught COVID, online participation increased significantly. So every week, about 40 students participate in their class online. So the reason why I chose, so it's a hybrid, it's offline and online. Yeah, so this is my hybrid classroom settings. The reason why I chose GettoTown over Zoom and Teams was because the number one, Teams does not allow the host to have control over the breakout room. So you cannot change groups straight away. So number 2, we've been using Zoom for more than 2 years now. To be honest, I think we all have a bit of Zoom fatigue. So even Stanford University have studied the negative effect of the long-term use of Zoom. When you look at someone's face for so long, a very long time, without moving, it is really unnatural for humans. However, Ghetto Town, like June, have more interactive and natural design where people have to work to speak another person in their virtual words. So I discovered, I discovered Ghetto Town at the end of 2021 and decided to implement this software this year in semester 1 in Korean 3. So now I bet you are very curious about the price, how much time you need to invest to learn this software, another new things, and also how satisfied student will be, your student will be. And let's have a look at some of advantages and disadvantages. So the first price, I'm using Ghetto for free at the moment because the reason why is that there are only 69 students enrolled in Korean 3, 8 of which actually that's original number, but at the moment, so last semester 8 to 13 attend online classes every week. If the number of students in my online class exceed 25, I will have to upgrade and pay for that. So, and you will get 30% discount when you're using educational purpose. And setting up. So, now let's look at how much time you need to invest to set up and learn how to use Ghetto Town. I will give you a very irritating response to it. Really depends on the individual. However, there's always good news. So I will give you. So if you select a pre-made classroom template, you can start using Ghetto Town only 5 to 10 minutes after you install it. However, if you decide, I'm a very creative person, in the case, if you start from, decide to make your own classroom from scratch, it can take a lot of time. Yeah. And so I will just I recommend if you think that if you wish to use it, it would be better to use Google account. And this is the home. And then I will just quickly skip this. The good thing is that I can send you the manual how to set it up. So I will skip this. So I chose small classroom option, and this is what it looks like. Ta-da! Yeah. So if you wish to save time and use a template, this is what this option looks like. So I'm going to show you my actual virtual classroom. This is my actual classroom. And if you wish to, so this took me about half a day to create. If you wish to have a tour of my classroom, I can send you a link. Yes, so we can have a talk at the round table. Oh yeah. So I should move quickly. So advantages. So one of the advantages is that because Ghetto Town is designed in a way that is similar to a game, it really holds students' attentions. So the classroom I had a really big glass window like this. So when the Ghetto Town was displayed on the screen, the students that passed by looked very curious and seemed to be very interested. And one of the students asked me, "What kind of class is this?" From the outside. Yes, I told him that, oh, this is Korean. Anyway, yeah. And then so the screen was like this, and I will manage. I will talk about a little bit more about it. So from teacher's perspective, it is easy to manage students online. There's no need to create breakout room, actually. However, if you wish to create breakout room, it is not necessary. Students can freely roam around and create their own groups. However, as a teacher, I can conveniently see all student activity from bird's eye perspective. So here's the breakout room. So here we have. So everyone see this purple or pinky space? This is where students can go to form group and talk privately. However, I do not need to directly go to each group to give feedback. So here there are number 1 to 5 in the left-hand corner. These numbers correspond to group space. So from here, I can conveniently teleport to any group spaces. So in your classroom here, so you can add a link which, for example, tutorial slide, which student can click on anytime they wish. Also, we can embed links such as neighbor dictionary, which make it convenient for students to look up things efficiently. So here, and then I can, if you share, there's a no open or like time. However, if you embed a link that has a video, there is no red time. So I will skip this a little bit. So the thing that I love most about GatherTown is that students can really interact in a social way with each other. For example, here. So you can have this go-kart, so they can racing together when there's a free time. So when it is a free time, students often do with their games with each other that are embedded in the classroom. Here we have also piano that students can share. So students can actually make friends like they would in an offline class. Zoom, on the other hand, does not allow this social activity to occur. It is just one space. However, GatherTown has a multitude of space that students can hang out in. So, and also for my students, they found GatherTown very easy to use. However, I cannot speak for everyone, but in my experience, it's been very user-friendly. All I did was show my students in an introduction video about GatherTown, and they were good to go. However, one of the negative of GatherTown, that is constantly updating. It is because it is relatively new startup. To use GatherTown, you must use your computer, not a tablet or mobile. Depending on the room you are in, now I'm talking about the room you are actually in, there can be echo sometimes. However, this only occurs if you're doing hybrid lesson. If you're doing a completely online lesson, there are no problem. So here, I can show you my lesson. So this was actually first floor, mine was on second floor. Anyway, this is my hybrid classroom. There were 6 speakers in the classroom, hence we had echo issues. Yeah. Jump. So the last one, student satisfaction. Week 1 to 5, we did the hybrid lesson with the GatherTown. However, because of the echo, we reintroduced Zoom from week 6. For students who were irritated by echo. So students from week 7, they had 2 options. They could do hybrid lesson through GatherTown or just use Zoom. So the conclusion. Yeah. So in conclusion, I'm not a huge advocate for metaverse or virtual reality, but I think it is a fantastic alternative within the online education world. An application like Zoom is not very interactive, while an application like GatherTown is incredibly interactive, which allows students to have more social experience. Humans are social creatures, and I believe that socializing is a necessity, not an option. Thank you for listening. And if you if you want to have, I already made the student manual, so you don't have to create it. So I'm happy to share the student manual, so you can just edit it. Thank you. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? Thank you, Hyunmi, for your fantastic presentation. It was very engaging. I'm sure that your students are very engaged in your class. I can imagine. So I have a question. Could you tell us about how you run your, is it for tutorials and lecture sessions? How you run, like what kind of structure do you use? So I can imagine. Yeah, this is, thank you for the question. I use it for my tutorial because at UWA, I chose to record my lecture video. So each week, students have weekly lecture video, so they have to watch before they come officially. Have to watch, and then they come to my tutorial. And this Gathertown is for online. However, I was learning. I was doing a hybrid system, learning system. I really liked it. Thank you very much for sharing this. That's very interesting app. And I have a question that like you say that you use it for tutorial. So it's mean that straight away when students just came to tutorial, they came to that virtual classroom? Yes. Okay. Online student. Yeah, online student. Oh, that's quite interesting. And I have I'm curious about because now we use Zoom and we just assign them to just send them to the breakout room, which if we just saw who, yes, their name just on there, but you show us the breakout room, room separately, like that. So I'm just wondering that when they join to that breakout room, it means that they just themselves, and can you hear them, you hear everyone in the class, an activity in the classroom, and is there any noise? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for your question. So here, so I actually in advance create this in here they say private space. It's a breakout room. I already in advance I create this room. However, I found it. I don't need actually breakout room because if there's a distance, and then they can just talk privately. So I actually don't need. And then also in this case, I should, for example, move my avatar to, I have to go to the place where they are talking. However, if they are in, for example, number 1 here, so here, number 1. So if they are in here, it's okay. If they are number 1 or number 2, number 3. Okay. Yeah. So if they we are having already here having a class here, and then they go to maybe here here 2 students, and then I can hear what they're talking. So here I have a number 5. So if I go to this place, I can hear what I can hear what they're talking about. So I don't actually need to go to that place. So I can tell them. Oh, so here's the number 1, number 2, 3, 4. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So it's more like a bird's eye perspective. I can see everyone.
Because now I'm just doing send them to the breakout room, and I have to tell them in advance that, oh, sorry, teacher, there's something you need to look at because I feel that they are in their private section, and then I just jump into there, and then they just they just keep silent. 안녕 여러분, 참 계속하네요.
So it's the reason. This one is it. there is a little bit of loading time, so they can see that you are coming.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if they can prepare. Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much.
And
Is it possible to ask a question?
yes, and of course.
Hi, yeah, just Brad speaking again.
Yes.
So do you think it's possible to use this, I guess, kind of learning space in a high school context? And if so, what kind of challenges, would you kind of imagine?
Yeah, actually, you can use it. So I have to look it up. Their like a policy. However, over 13 years old, student can use it. However, there's a kind of something that you have to think about. So in case if they're doing something secretly at certain points, so if you want to know what are
You're
they
talking
doing.
about student behavior, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Inappropriate behavior. So is it possible as a teacher to monitor, I guess, all of that, or is it going to be too challenging?
No, actually, you can do it.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, actually, you can do it. So with a little bit of setting, so you can monitor, see them. You can see their activity. So it actually depends on how you set up the classroom.
Oh,
Actually,
okay,
you
sure.
can use it, but
Yep.
also we have to think about their behavior. I trust the students. Yeah. However,
Sure.
because
Yep.
just in case, so because I give a lot of freedom to my students, the university students, and they behave really well. I'm not saying that high school students behave badly. I'm not saying, however, just for like protecting them, protecting
Sure.
our
Yes. Yep.
students
Sure.
from any unforeseen
Yep.
situation. Yeah.
Thank you. And can we modify the content? The lesson. If I've got content, that students are learning outside of this space, can I use that content, modify the content in this context of this learning space?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, there's embedded functions, so you can modify anything. So this is just a sample.
Sure. Yep. Thank you. I'll send you an email. Thank you.
Yeah. I can send you student manual as well if you're interested. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Very interested. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Okay.
We haven't started like with the catering for lunch, so we're happy if you want to take some more questions, or otherwise there's a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to answer everything, even though my English is very limited.
Oh, sure. One more question. Sorry. How much does it cost? I mean, like not on a personal, but an institutional level. Does it require a significant investment, for access to this kind of software?
Yeah, it really depends on. So I also prepared not here. Yeah, it probably yeah, it's probably
많이 비싸겠죠?
I so I will show you. It takes quite a long time. Actually, because it's a little bit expensive, however, if you can receive 30% discount if your institutions are using it for education purpose.
Sure.
So it wouldn't be fair to ask them.
And can we collaborate? Like, can teachers collaborate? Like after we purchase, if we do have a budget for these kind of things, and I am looking for something, that can engage students in an online environment. So is it possible for teachers to collaborate in this space as well?
Yes, of course.
That's awesome. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes.
Well done. Thank
And
you.
also, I can let you know that there's a Korean metaverse that you can see, this one called Jap. Actually, it is completely free. I don't know about their business model, but it's really similar to GetAtown. So you can use it for free.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a look this application as well, because it's very similar to the GetAtown, but it's
Thank you. So I was just teaching before. So what's the name of the app that the software you've been using for your presentation? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
GetAtown. GetAtown.
Gather
So, like,
Town.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you.
gathering- Thank you.
Thank you.
And there's
I'll just ask you, is there any interest in students using it outside of the classroom?
I presume that was, is there any interest in using it outside of the classroom for students?
I have to ask. But students come really early to wander around, and they talk each other. So I think it seems that students are really into this GetAtown if there is no echo issues. So you can create your personal, for example, group meeting to discuss a certain topic. Yeah, you can use it. Yeah. Or not exceeding 25 people.
Can I create one like a map and then use for different levels of courses? Okay, and then say if I have a back-to-back class, then does that mean then all the previous students need to leave the map? So
Yes, sir. Yeah, they have to leave. Yeah, but easy. Just click the X button. Yeah.
We might wrap this up now. So thank you very much for your presentation. We're going to have a break until 1 p.m. Catering is on its way. It's just a little bit delayed. So just have a break until then. At 1 p.m. we're going to have the keynote speech. So just, everyone have a break.